Welcome to David Burrows Stadium, Monday night football, PS4 NPL Round 5 action. Mark Makin with you here on Knights TV. Very important clash. Knights come in tonight in 11th place on the table. Just 4 points from the first 4 games, could easily be at least 7.
Starting lineup tonight for the Melbourne Knights. In goal, number 20, Harry Chakaroon. Number 4, Ben Suri. Number 5, Damien Misculin. Number 9, Kim Harris. Number 12, Anthony Desic. Number 13, Tom Cahill. Number 15, Danny Dixon. Number 16, Jason Hicks. Number 18, Josh Brecalo. Number 23, Timmy Purcell. Number 27, Elvis Kamsovich. And for the Lions, in goal, number 25, Wyatt Chant. Number 2, Ali Lutimer. Number 5, Chris Ross. Number 6, Davide Cardamone. Number 7, Luke Gallo. Number 8, Tom Nielsen. Number 9, Oliver White. Number 11, Christian McKenna. Number 15, Jordan Templin. Number 20, Andrew Mullett. And number 22, Brad Clark.
Knights come in tonight in 11th place on the table. Just 4 points from the first 4 games, could easily be or at least 7. Jordan Templin, there's not much of him, nor as much of Hicks for that matter, but a little bit of a dust up in the early going. Good work here for Desic. Harris. Now Hicks again, he's within range, he fires, and just to the right of White Chance goal. So we got through some traffic there. White's there for Bulleen, but there's plenty of white shirts up against him. Suri for Hicks. Out wide for Dixon. Goes back inboard. Hicks again. Goes long, goes route one through the middle. Kamsopa's got some pace. Flag goes up though. And the goalkeeper there, he was off regardless, but just waving away any calls for a penalty there for the Knights. It wouldn't have mattered regardless. Parried out as far as Suri. Suri puts it back in. Oh, it's not a bad ask. And then I think it was Harris just nodded it over the top. It was. Here's White. Pulls it down well. And McKenna on his left. Couldn't quite get it to him. Instead he goes to his right for Gallo. Templin. He's got some space. Will wind up. Goes low across the face. They may expect it from Harris, but I'm putting my money on Hicks to curl it in on the left foot. Van Aken's wrong. That's hit well, and good save there by Wyatt Chant. Let him go. Whipped in. Ball's loose, and that's an own goal. That has come off Oliver White. And, of course, the man who is a goal-scoring threat at the other end of the park. To be fair to him, I don't think he knew much about it. I'm not sure Oliver White agreed that it was an own goal, just looking up at the box. To be fair, he didn't know much about it at all, so it has come off him, but whether you would actually award it or whether you award it to Jason Hicks whipping it in, I'll leave that for the experts. I'm just the bloke who talks about the game. And I mean Wyatt Chant, not the Knights fans. Hicks, gentle. Yeah, it was a clever little chip, but was never going to have the pace on it to deceive Wyatt Chant, and the Bulleen goal on the right-hand side, leaving not much on the wing on the far side for the Knights, so they'll have to try through the middle. They do so through Desic. Desic's got some space. Now Dixon, numbers in the box for the Knights. Scuffs it. Dixon gets another chance. Might come back to Purcell. He does. Still numbers in the box for tonight for the Knights. Cahill, and Cahill puts it in the back of the net. And Tommy Cahill hasn't exactly been Mr. Everywhere tonight, but just showing his veteran class. There were numbers there, and Melbourne Knights in the 41st minute double their advantage. The Knights have looked threatening tonight. That bit of build-up play, probably not their best of the evening, but nonetheless, they just kept the possession. They had the weight of numbers in the box. If 1-2 here for Templin. Then the right-hand side, Brecalo at full pace. White's there. Gets his head to it. Still Gullo. Scuffs it. No Nikola Jurkovic tonight for the Melbourne Knights. Long one for Dixon. Just bounced a little high for him. Come back to a point on that in a second. Dixon loads up on the left. And he's headed into the back of the net. I thought it might have been the side netting. They gave him an inch. And as I always say, Danny Dixon took a mile here in the 51st minute. Melbourne Knights lead it 3-0 thanks to a very direct run there from the winger, Danny Dixon. And the point I was going to make there, although it's a moot one because the Knights have scored, is that ball came in, it was a good ball through, but it just took a bit of a bounce, which is what you get on the synthetic turf, that the Bulleen guys would be more used to, but Dixon recovered nonetheless. This is now Hicks. Desic, short for Hicks. Instead goes long, looking for Harris. This is where the Knights have to concentrate. They've got a handy advantage here, but doesn't mean you start getting sloppy with long balls, as that one's fired over the top by White. Dixon, just inside the D. Cahill's there. Now Harris traps it well. First, here comes Josh Brecalo. Still a chance, flags up. Flag up for offside there. They attack down the left now to Bulleen. Back for Mullet. His hand on his ear as if he's asking for a call. Comes eventually for McKenna. Now White. First touch, second touch, third touch in the back of the net. And I know we're on Knights TV, but I said this is exactly, from a neutral perspective, what the game needed. Just to breathe some life. And haven't been peppering the goals, Bulleen, but it probably has been coming. They've been having the better of possession in recent times. And Oliver White on the score sheet for the second time tonight in the 70th minute. Take a quick play at all at this stage of the game. Hicks, good ball in. Well done there by Mullet to see it out. Now McKenna down the left flank for, I think, Gullo. Inside. Underneath, Brecalo sort of nutmegged himself almost. Now Templin can size it up. Ball comes in. And it's gone out past Harry Shakaroon, and it's Christian McKenna in the 82nd minute. And as they say, it only takes a second to score a goal. And Josh Brecalo thought he had it there, went between his legs. And Christian McKenna with a strong header. White, straight into the wall. Kemsoba. Tom Nielsen. Like a game of rugby union, just looks up and he just sees 10 men coming at him. Ball into the box, big chance here. Shakaroon's got a penalty, no, waved away, and Shakaroon had to do well there. In a game that was quite mild-mannered for the first hour, 70 minutes or so, it's just starting to get a little tense. Some work to do here, the Knights. Brecalo wins it, only as far as Katamoni. Now Mullet takes a touch, buys himself some time. Goes long, down the left flank. Another good build-up for Bulleen. That's a good ball. Chakaroon parries it away, wants to go again. Does well there. He needed to go, Chakaroon. Abbott coughs it up in a dangerous spot for the Knights. Dixon wins it back. Then he too is dispossessed. Although he seems to be like a magnet at the moment. This is now Desic. Desic thought he'd lost it there to White. Good ball through from Cahill for Kemsoba. He's got some space. First touch is heavy. Second one comes in. Chant comes off his line. Does very well. Andrew Marth just casually strolling over to the fourth official, just checking if he has a timepiece upon him. And that will do it. So in the end, there were some nervous moments, but the Melbourne Knights are victorious, 3 goals to 2. We're here pitch side with Andrew Marth, the gaffer. Now, they say a week is a long time in football. 10 days has been an eternity, because what a turnaround tonight.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's a lot of aggression and I basically will to want to win, eh? And, we almost gave it away in the end, unfortunately.
What did you make of that? Because let's talk about the negative and get back into the positives, because it was sublime for, I think, the first 70, 75, and then a little bit of a lapse. Was it a mental lapse? Was it physicality? What was it?
No, immaturity, without a doubt. A couple of fundamental errors. As you said, we've got 4 19-year-old kids playing out there today, and they make a mistake and we concede a goal. And to their credit, I don't think Bulleen really deserved any goals, to be honest. And we probably should have been 5 or 6. And their keeper made some brilliant saves. And talking about positives, Elvis was outstanding, as majority of the boys were.
Yeah, Elvis, another good performance. Even, look, his last out was probably his worst, and it was still very, very good. But again tonight, a few offside calls. I'm not sure if they were really there. I think he's even deceiving. He's deceiving defences. He might be deceiving a few linesmen. I don't expect you to talk about that. But the positives out of tonight, and actually we talked about last game that it was very flat, and there's going to be a bit of soul searching on the Monday. Did you have that session? And it obviously has paid dividends for the most part tonight.
Yeah, we definitely did. They put their hand up and said that they could have performed better, and there was positives and negatives during the course of the game. And we went out on the training track and did quite well during the course of the week. We knew it was going to be a tough encounter, especially on this synthetic. And to the boys' credit, I thought they did exceptionally well first half, and probably 2/3 of the second half. And just lack of concentration, as I said before. Young boy in goal, Harry, that possibly could have done better. But, it's a result that we require, and look forward to now Saturday, I believe, against Geelong, which will be a huge encounter.
That's right. And let's go back to the league itself. Good chance now to go on a bit of a run, because you've got 3 games at home, inverted commas, because one of those is against Avondale. So Port Melbourne next week, then Avondale. Heidelberg, I think, at home after that, and then away to South Melbourne, which is not the menacing task it might have looked before the start of the season, but we're not going to rev them up too much. But does that play in at all? Because you don't leave the confines of Summer Street for nearly a month.
Yeah, well, that's been our downfall this year thus far. We've lost 2 games where we shouldn't have lost, and Knight Stadium used to be a domain, and all teams used to hate going there, and over the course of 25 years, and unfortunately it hasn't happened thus far. But we've got Port Melbourne the following Friday, so I'm sure we'll get hopefully a couple of players back, and that will strengthen our squad.
In terms of the synthetic pitch, you touched on that. Does that sort of play in your preparations? Did you do any training on synthetic? Because there was a couple tonight where balls went over the top. I think one with Danny Dixon, where it was a beautiful ball came through from the midfield. Might have come through from Hicksy, and it looked like it would have just bounced straight onto his chest, and it's gone straight over his head. He almost had a shot on goal afterwards, mind you. But was there any training on synthetic for the last week or so?
No, it wasn't, because of the fact that I was here 2 weeks ago with the juniors, and I looked at the ground, and unfortunately, our side of town, whether Keel or Park hasn't got the same, nor has Derribin, so we opted to stay on normal turf, and probably worked out well in the end.
Stabber, good win tonight, as you said. Got some cup action and league action back at home to come. All the best.
Yep, thanks very much.